that civil society and an empowered civil society is one of the greatest threats to the Assad regime. It's not who's going to fund military operations. We cannot defeat Russia. It's how do we defeat the regime using our brains, our capacities, and our capabilities, and our communities.
I mean, the whole idea of local governance was to break apart authoritarianism, and that is exactly like someone who breathes oxygen. There's no way out. It's the genie's already out of the bottle, and the bottle's broken. And so I think I totally agree. I mean, those are, in fact, the mission, and we will be meeting hopefully in years to go, because if we measure our mission as, and that was perhaps also one of the, I don't know, you call it mistakes and so forth, but measuring success based on territorial control was one of the mistakes. And in fact, a lot of civil society did not do that, and a lot of civil societies were sidelined because they did not look at territorial control as being the defining factor of success and victory. And in fact, now the work starts. If the weapons are put down, I think that will be the biggest opportunity for Syrians to regain their country. Militarily, politically, it's controlled mostly by the international community, but the ground is still ours, and that's what Syrians are still on the ground. And when you say, the issue of civil society and local councils is contagious, meaning councils on the regime side, and that's exactly why Assad brought local councils, even though they were puppets and so forth. But the fact that he actually went and brought them to the table for the first time ever in Syria says that the work of many organizations, the work that Bashar did with local councils, was contagious. Meaning, even if those councils go back to the regime, the issue that they have an authority, and that's one of the things that we could actually keep pushing, is that, and I was hoping that the negotiation commission would be here today with us. I missed them last night, but it's obviously the Constitution is the smallest element of any type of transition. What about the law of civil society organizations? We have to fight for that. Those are the details that the regime will continue to say, we'll have a facade of a new constitution, but on the law of elections, we have, after the uprising, we have 6 million, 5.5 million in the neighboring countries, 1 million in Europe, quite a few in the US, and very influential because historically, even before the uprising, the money that comes from the diaspora has been almost at least 10 times, I think Aziz says in his presentation, maybe more than 10 times of the foreign aid and foreign direct investment that comes into Syria. So we have the power in the long run, maybe not today, but in the long run, we have the financial power, even more than the European Union, to use as leverage, that we want a law for civil society, we want a law for local administration. We published a book at Omran on decentralization in Syria, and how important it is to actually define decentralization, define it for each function of the state, meaning security, who controls security, is it who elects the governor, what are the authorities of the governor, what do we as Syrians view security agencies, how should they operate, how should local councils, what are the authorities of local councils, can they pass laws, can they enforce taxes, can they have their own local police, can they have town hall meetings without getting an okay? Can local civil society organizations receive aid without reporting back to the Mukhabarat?